The Green Thread Workshop. It should be a really exciting 2 days. There's such a wide diversity of representation here at the table that we're really excited about. All of the schools and colleges are represented here. So we're really hoping for a lot of cross-pollination with this interdisciplinary group. We've just got a fabulous couple days in front of us. And I'd really like to just start by thanking all of you after probably another grueling semester in all of our lives to set aside 2 days and come here to really engage in this critical endeavor. I think most of us know it's a pretty pivotal time from a global perspective. And the fact that you're here shows that you really value enhancing your students' literacy around these super important topics. So I'd really like to just commend you for being here. We're going to be talking about opening up a creative process where we really imbue our courses with sustainability. The thought being that as students move through their 4 or 5 years here at the University of Montana, they see sustainability over and over and over in many disciplines. As they move from an English class to a chemistry class to a ceramics class, it's there all the time. It's being presented in a very discipline-specific way, but over and over and over, hence the term green thread. Jean comes from a very multidisciplinary background. Academically, she's studied biology and ecology, as well as environmental planning. For the past 20 years, she has led a self-proclaimed double life. At night, she is a faculty member in the Masters of Environmental Studies program, and during the day, she is a higher ed reform activist.
We're probably one of the most advanced forms of human society on planet Earth. When you think about what we know we can do with technology, with healthcare, with education, with transportation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, living in one of the most ecologically intact places on the planet. So if we can't figure out how to live really sustainably in our place, who can? And we must set a standard for the rest of the world. Sustainability is taken up with a lot of energy around campus operations, around the management of the campus plant, and in student affairs. But with respect to the curriculum, it's lagging a bit behind. So I have a friend who says the glaciers are melting faster than the curriculum is changing. And that really poses a wonderful opportunity for us all, but it also poses a major question for us all about how we go about the kind of faculty and curriculum development that needs to happen from some of our perspectives and quickly, but how might it happen and how might sustainability begin to appear not as a kind of party line dogma, as Lisa said, but as this kind of generative opportunity to think in new ways.
Historical, and I think for me it's important to teach that this isn't how it's always been or will always be.
What is the source of this consumer culture? What is shaping, reinforcing this consumer culture? We can address that when we're dealing with finding a way to
His values is cooperation, or team cooperation, or tolerance, or a stake in the future. Can that be considered a core value?
I'd like to just place this for us in the role of our students and how our students are now encountering all this information. We're encountering it, we're attentively interested, that's why we're here in the room. But let's just think for a minute about what are the messages coming to students. They said, enough book learning, give us tangible examples. Those of us who are learning about it, when it's distant in our brains, it just is a cause for concern. But if we see problems on the ground and see actual people working on them.
Sherry is UM Sustainability Coordinator, and her position is a relatively new position. It was just established in January and was created after a lot of brainstorming and effort among the Sustainable Campus Committee, facility services, and others around campus. So Sherry started in January and has really hit the ground running. And one of her main areas of focus that she'll talk about today is the climate action plan that the university is engaged in. And there's a pretty significant process of developing that plan that she'll be discussing, as well as how everyone at the university can be involved with that plan. Then our second speaker is Nancy Wilson, the director of ASUM Transportation. She's directed that office since its inception in 1999, was honored with the Outstanding Service to the External Community Award from the university in 2007-08. And her office won a National Chill Out Award from the National Wildlife Federation last year for their exceptional work. I'll let her explain what that is all about. And then third, Derek Conwisher, who you've already met. Derek is one of the founders of the FLAT, which stands for Forum for Living with Appropriate Technology. And Derek's going to give you the details, but essentially the FLAT is a retrofitted house for students that serves as a community demonstration project for sustainable living practices. Derek's been involved in a lot of other projects on campus: glass recycling, super insulation, appropriate biofuels, local food, and so he'll address the sustainable FLAT. So,
first of all, take a breath and look around and let all of your senses allow themselves to be tuned up so you really take in the place where you are. This may be a place that's very familiar to you. You pass all the time. And it may be a place that you haven't yet seen, or maybe you're going to see with new eyes. But here's the challenge. Think of a teaching and learning moment that you could create with your students in one of the classes that you teach that could take place in that very spot, or that could become a teachable opportunity. In other words, what's in that place could be the stimulus for a teaching and learning activity. So you have to come back with a little nugget of an idea. So the theme here is that teaching and learning opportunities are really literally under our noses.